Yo, what's going on? We're excited to introduce to you the Fapstinence Podcast, where we help you find freedom from porn. This is a podcast that I created with my friend and fellow Fapstinence influencer, Peter Kersting. Peter, you want to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into this with you guys. We've created a really great program that I hope can help a lot of people. The format we're going to be doing for this is Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 12 weeks. And so basically every week we're going to be touching on a different topic, and within that week, 3 different subtopics. So you can expect to see Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and through the new year, a new piece of content from myself, Peter, and Kevin Wilder. And I'm going to just really excited to get into this with Kevin. My background is in journalism, and we're going to talk a little bit about our individual stories and why we decided to do this at the end. But we wanted to first kind of talk about who this is directed towards. We've made a couple of assumptions in the structure of this podcast from that regard.
Yep. But specifically, we're going to be targeting it towards single men. Now, here's the thing. Single men who are obviously dependent on porn and addicted to porn. And a lot of you guys might not even know that you're addicted to porn. So I highly suggest that you listen to these podcast series to really even just help you discover if you're even addicted, if it's even a problem, and then how to solve that solution from there. That being said, we're here to help everybody out. We understand that a lot of women struggle with porn. People who are in relationships already struggle with porn, people who are a bit older. But we notice specifically within the millennial and Gen Z generation, it's just such a pervasive thing that, we are here to help solve and help with. Us being millennials ourselves, those are the types of guys that we can kind of speak to a bit more and relate to better. But regardless of what demographic you might be a part of, I think anyone who is trying to abstain from pornography and find freedom from porn can find value from this podcast. So, let's get into our backgrounds a bit here. So let me just talk about myself for a second. So some of you guys might be coming from, my YouTube or Instagram already, so you probably already know who I am. But my name is Kevin. I have been a fitness coach for 10 years now, and approaching 10 years. And basically, when you're a fitness coach, you are someone who helps people with behavior change. And I've trained thousands of people at this point, both men and women. And I've noticed that in order to get my clients results, it's not just about having the best science with fitness. Of course, that's important, but the behavior change itself and the things that you have to do in terms of delving into the psychology of behavior change and being really concrete and even bringing in philosophical ideas is what actually lasts for everlasting behavior change. And lately, I've actually helped guys with their dating lives in terms of their confidence with women and confidence with people in general, because all this stuff is tied together. And I've noticed when it comes to abstaining from pornography, it takes so much strength and conviction and purpose of other areas of your life that in order to actually transcend pornography, you need to have other areas of your life set in place. So all of this is tied together. If you can figure out and transcend your addiction, your dependency on porn, all these other areas of your life will improve as a result. And I strongly, strongly believe in that. And I believe in it so much to the point where I'm starting a podcast with Peter on it. So Peter, how about you give a little bit of your background?
Kevin and I met in Vietnam. It was a very circumstantial meeting. We were playing volleyball on the beach. But there was something about the moment that I met Kevin that really struck me that this guy was different. And that being that he opened up to me in that moment. I'm not sure why. Grace, maybe. That he said, I am a porn addict. He also said, I am a dating coach. Interesting way to back it up. But there was something about that vulnerability and mentioning that he had to struggle with pornography that makes me really respect Kevin, and it's an important aspect of recovery for anybody who's dealing with this. You need to admit you have a problem before you can deal with it. Well, I had Kevin on my podcast along with Peter, and there was just something about this that stirred in me that I said, you know what? This is something we need to talk about more. And so I'm really, really excited to do this with Kevin. And I think we've done a good job of coming up with some really solid facts, evidence, research, and a structure that can really help, especially these young men that we've structured it towards, to find out a way to understand yourself, to understand what it takes and what you need to do. And the first step of that, obviously, is admitting you have a problem. And we believe strongly, both of us, that pornography is single-handedly one of the most destructive forces in our world. I am not being hyperbolic, as Kevin likes to say. I believe it is absolutely 100% true. And I will go so far as to say that the men watching this podcast, it needs to be one of the top priorities in your life to cut it out now. And so with that in mind, I wanted to say just one last thing, that the average age of exposure to pornography is 13 years old. A lot of you probably were exposed to this without your consent. Well, we want to help you take back your freedom from porn. And so we hope you join us on the Fapstinence Podcast, releasing this upcoming Monday, October 19th, through the new year, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
See y'all on the podcast, yo.